Ladies and gentlemen, please put your screen on full view. Please put your screen on full view. This is Ebony Man 2K, aka that Jolly Rancher, aka Pretty Ricky, what they call me, and aka the King of Receipts. I welcome you to my channel with the same name. Shout out to the Viper Pit over at STL's, Bomb Cherry, Warren, and Denini. Also, I want to send a shout out to the Clout Chasers and the chat members of TMR Talks, Kels, Keeping Up with the Goddess, and Tracy with the T. Make sure when you come in, you hit the like button, subscribe, and set the notification bell to all. I understand that you may be listening while you're driving, cooking, working out, or at work, so your time is greatly appreciated. Again, I welcome you, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Peace. This is Ebony Man 2K. But once again, SONCERAE shows that she is still walking around this earth clueless. And like my dad would say, she don't know what's going on in this world like the man on the moon. In her last live, she tells the whole story about her IYANLA Fix My Life audition. She seemed quite confused that she really didn't spend a lot of time with IYANLA, but met with a lot of producers of the production company instead. She was somehow bewildered that they were asking her questions about priests more than her, as if they were fishing for stories to tell to make an actual show. So was Ray thinking that she was going to meet with IYANLA and solve her fake problems on a fake reality TV show? Those shows are more fake than she is. I bet she was like, damn, you bitches got me beat. Then she spent the rest of her live arguing with a chat member about being accountable for her actions. Of course, she got all defensive and claims that she's going to fix this trolling problem by charging to hear her speak live, not realizing that she is only pulling 7 people in her lives right now for free. The stupidity of her actions are so sad, yet entertaining, and it's part of the reason why everybody loves SONCERAE.
So, what's up, everybody? Hold on, let me pull it together. Okay. Thank you for joining me. If you are just tuning in, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. It's taking me a moment to set up. I haven't really been doing live streams using this damn software, so it's taking me a second. Again, thank y'all for being here. I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Hold on for a second. All right. What's your quarantine looking like? What's your quarantine looking like? What's your self-isolation looking like? Y'all taking care of each other? I hope so. I hope it has shown to y'all that it is important that we love and care for one another. MJ23, it's 9:27 in California, so it's not really late like that yet. It's not really late. What's on the screen is, of course, the title of the live stream, and then the super chat. The last person that super chatted how many subscribers I have on YouTube, and the name of the last person who subscribed to my YouTube channel. So yeah, it's kind of late, but not really. I mean, it's late, but I mean, how many of y'all got somewhere y'all going to tomorrow? Not a lot of people got somewhere that they're going to tomorrow. It's 9:30 here, of course. So what is it on the East Coast? What time is it on the East Coast? It's 9:30 here, so it's what, 12:30 at night over there. Yeah. Oh, you in LA, so it's not late for you either. 9:30 is not that bad. But this is the first time I got a chance to sit still. And I wanted to talk about something that I don't know that I didn't really talk to anybody about. You know, I don't know who would be up this late to listen to what I got to say. So I don't really like the way that Streamlabs, that's the software I'm using. I don't really like how my audio sounds with them when I'm using them. I don't know, like muffled a little bit. When I listen to the playback, I don't like how the audio sounds. I don't know how many people would actually be asleep this late, because I mean it's early, late, whatever time it is. Because it's like none of us have anything to do. Most of us are quarantined, so we're up Netflixing and chilling. You know what I mean? What else could we possibly be doing? I just wanted to talk about this, but I mean I don't know when the best time to talk about the next season of Iyanla Vanzant and my experience with Iyanla Vanzant and her team and how limited it was. It's not very detailed. Well, no, I'll go into detail. I don't mind, because it's not that. I don't know. I just want to talk about my experience with her team and how it went, because it was kind of like, I don't know. I was expecting something different from Iyanla Vanzant and her team. I wasn't expecting what I got. You know what I mean? Like, when you talk about somebody like Iyanla Vanzant, you know, you talk about what type of person she is, who she is, what she represents, what the OWN network represents. You start thinking about, you know, the positivity associated with that channel. Or you start thinking about Tyler Perry and all his dramatic ass shows. You know, a lot of people don't know that Oprah Winfrey doesn't own the OWN network anymore. A lot of people don't know that. She sold the OWN network. But Iyanla Vanzant's show is still on there. Now, what I wasn't expecting from this team came to me, because I thought, when you watch Iyanla Vanzant in the past, if you watched her, you've seen her help people. You've seen some people come onto her show and then complain about how they didn't help her. We've seen people cuss her out. We've seen people, all types of different reactions to this woman. And people suggested me going on to Iyanla Vanzant so many times. Like, I heard that so many times. Like, people just email me and tell me that. People have been saying that to me for the past 3 years. They email me and, you know, come in my comment section and tell me to come onto this show. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is Iyanla Vanzant show is still a show. It's a show. You understand? So you still have to audition. And a lot of people don't realize that. You know, of course you think that when you're dealing with somebody like Iyanla Vanzant, you could just tell your story, and if she wants to help you with it, then she chooses you to help you. But that's not how the process goes to be on this show. To be on this show, you got to go through a series of things. Like, I'm going to just tell you the process that I went through that I wasn't expecting. And it was almost disappointing, but I'm going to explain to you how it went. So, I don't know what made me hit her up the first time, because somebody suggested it to me 2 years ago, and I hit her up the first time, and I didn't get a response. And so I hit her up the second time somebody said something to me, and I didn't get a response. And so this time I saw somebody posted on YouTube, in the community section. the community section of the OWN network, it said that they were casting for the Ayala Van Zandt Fix My Life show. Now, this is where I got a little confused because I was like, wait, what? Casting? Because when you think about casting, you think about reality shows, you think about, shit like Love and Hip Hop. You don't think that you have to go through a casting experience to be on a show like Ayala Van Zandt, right? So I'm like, all right, casting, whatever. Now, Bynum and Murray, y'all know about Bynum and Murray. A lot of the reality shows that you see, Boonham, what is it? Why I say Bynum? I think it's Boonham and Murray. Boonham/Murray. Okay? They do the production for the reality shows. So when I clicked on the link that was posted onto YouTube, it went straight to the Boonham/Murray site. And it pulled up this form. It was a basic form. It had like a place where you just fill out, your name, your email. It was like a box in there where you could tell your story. And you move on. So I filled that out. So a week or so went by, somebody hit me up. Somebody emailed me from Boonham/Murray. And I'm thinking, I done hit Iyanla Van Zandt up from her, not personal, but her other business website where she kind of promotes consultations. I hit her up on that site first and didn't get a response. But then I hit her up from the production company and I get a response immediately. So they hit me up and they send me another form. But the form is a link still. So I click on that link and they asking me to fill out the same thing I filled out the first time. But this time it got a longer box and you're supposed to be more descriptive. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that. Then somebody hit me up immediately again. Send me another link to another form where it's another series of questions, not about your story, but about you as a person. Like where you live, have you been diagnosed with this or that, blah, blah, blah. I fill that out. Then somebody emailed me like, congratulations. Pick a date for you to do a Skype interview. Right? So I was like, okay, pick the Skype interview date. It was like a Friday. Now, they give you like these guidelines on what you're supposed to do to make sure that your audition is 100%. The way the lighting is supposed to be, the way you're supposed to be sitting, the way the camera is supposed to be, sat in front of you. How it needs to be quiet, how you need to be by yourself, how nobody else needs to be in a room, how you should wear your hair, how you shouldn't have on a hat, all types of stuff. All types of regulations and rules and stuff to you doing a Skype interview. So you do the first Skype interview and you're supposed to move on to the next thing if they choose you. Now, that Friday, right? It was like a Friday morning at some time. Now, mind you, I got a 2-year-old, so it's difficult for me to be by myself. That's like really hard. Getting me alone is like difficult because justice, right? And then I got a 19-year-old daughter. And then I got my mom around me a lot. And then I'm working a lot. So getting me to be by myself to do an interview with Iyanla Van Zandt or whoever is hard, right? Just getting me on the phone is hard. Anybody will tell you that. Getting me on the phone is hard. Getting me to answer a text message is difficult because I'm working like crazy. So they're like, schedule a time. You can't reschedule this. Be on time. Because, be 10 minutes early, basically, because this is your shot, right? So I'm like, okay. Friday morning comes, and I'm supposed to do my interview, right? Now, mind you, I've already done an over-the-phone interview, because you had to do an over-the-phone interview first before you even got to the Skype interview. So I passed that part. Now, mind you, just listen to what I just said. I had already contacted Iyanla Van Zandt 2 times already without her production company. Then someone from the old network posted that IYANLA Van Zant's show was casting. So I clicked that link. And then they sent me another link to fill out another form. And then they sent me another link to fill out another form. Oh, and I forgot another email where I had to sign a legal documentation before I could even do the Skype interview. So after I did the over the phone interview, they sent me all this paperwork, this legal paperwork to sign, just to do the audition. Not even really to be on the show, just the auditioning part. They sent me all of these legal documents. And so, once I did that, I scheduled the audition, the Skype interview. So, the morning of the Skype interview, I think we're supposed to start at 10 o'clock on the dot. So, of course, I'm set up, I'm ready to roll at like 9:45. Because I'm supposed to be early, right? So 9:45 comes, I'm waiting, I got my Skype on, I'm ready, I'm sitting there. By the time 9:30 gets there, I'm thinking, okay, no one has called my Skype. Let me call Boone & Murray Production Company. So I pick up the phone and I call them. I'm like, is somebody going to Skype me? Who's going to Skype me? So they transfer me to the person who's supposed to be conducting all of the interviews. This chick had forgot to tell me that she wanted to reschedule. She was like, I thought I called you yesterday and left a message and told you that I wanted to reschedule. And I was like, what? Like, y'all made it seem like this was, life or death over here. And I needed to make sure that I made it to this audition, this Skype interview. And you're telling me that you called me yesterday, last night, to tell me that we got to reschedule my audition for what now? And she was like, well, I have some overbooking things I did. So I just want to reschedule it. I said, okay, Monday. So Monday, because you could only do it on a weekday. And this was Friday. So I was like, all right. No, it was like, it wasn't Monday. It was that Tuesday. Because she didn't want to do it on Monday because Monday is like one of those busy days. So Tuesday, she's like, Tuesday 10 a.m. So I'm like, okay. Tuesday 10 a.m. comes. Of course, I'm sitting there, I'm waiting. 10:10 comes, nobody calls. 10:20 comes, nobody calls. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. 10:30 calls, 10:30 comes, nobody's calls. So I'm like, fuck it. I get comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, apparently, they don't want to do it or something else is happening. Suddenly, Skype call rings in. It's 10:45. Now, this is 45 minutes late. A random producer that I don't know from Boone & Murray says that they want to interview me to be on the Fix My Life show, right? And y'all Fix My Life. So I get on the interview with her. And she's asking me all these questions, right? She's asking me questions about me, Justice, Priest, and Sidonia, right? Now, before she even contacted me, she had already done research about me on YouTube or Google or whatever. And so the questions that she's asking me aren't just about the anti-black woman movement. Because she's asking me about the anti-black woman movement. She's asking me about the men on YouTube who degrade black women and single mothers. Right? So she's asking me questions about that. Then she's asking me questions about Priest and him being Hebrew Israelite at some point. So it's almost like she's contacting me to find out more about Priest, not to try to figure out me and how I need to fix my life and my situation, and how Priest is important to it as far as my son goes, and I would like for my son and Priest to meet eventually if, it's in the cards for that, and that's good for my son. But don't interview me to know more about my baby daddy. It's like I guess this specific interviewer, because she was black. All of the other women I dealt with were white. And this woman was black, and she was late, of course. And I didn't even think the interview was going to happen. So when she hit me up, I said, I didn't even think you was going to hit me up. Because no one called at the time they were supposed to. So anyway, she's just asking me all these questions. I think that what she was trying to accomplish was to gather together more black men to do a episode for black men. Now that sounds real good in theory. You know what I mean? Because black men need that, you know? So I think when she contacted me, she was asking me questions. Now I think we were on the interview for about an hour and a half. And she was asking me so many questions about priests. I was thinking, do you want to call a priest? Like, I can give you the last known phone number for him if you would like to talk to him. Because I mean, it seems like you're more interested in why he decided to be Hebrew Israelite. And, you know, like, you're not really necessarily asking me more in more detail about me. You're more interested in priests. Now, they did ask me little questions about, you know, how I was harassed and stuff on YouTube and shit like that. And, of course, I gave them, you know, the typical thing. Y'all know what's going on YouTube. Y'all seen what happened to me for the past couple of years. And y'all know why I decided to start falling back. It wasn't because I didn't have any good content that I could put out. It was more of like, is this worth my time? You know, I love doing YouTube. I love my subscribers. I love people who come into my comment section and chat with me. But the hateful part of this situation, as far as people coming for me because I'm black and female, that's not some shit I signed up for. You know, it's okay to express your opinion, and I'm okay with people expressing their opinion, you know, as far as my life goes, because I share my life. But the stalking and harassing was extra. So I had to, you know, ask myself, was it something that I really, really wanted to do? And she did ask me, what did I think, you know, what did I want to come out of being on a Y'all Vincent show? And I told her, I was like, listen, my main focus for me is that my son has his father. And I want to know, what was it about my son or my son's father that made me choose him to begin with? Like, what was the point? Like, why did I even choose this guy? Hey, Pro Woman J. To me, like what you're saying, I agree with you. It would have been a good like topic. And I said to her, it would have been a good topic for the show. I think this is something that black women go through all of the time, where they're dealing with men who abandon them with children. We see this happen in our community often. Black women are blamed for it. Black men do not take responsibility for them abandoning their own children. It's so many women going through this that it's been normalized and it hasn't been brought up and dealt with like it's supposed to. And if it's not dealt with like it's supposed to, it's going to be the depletion of our race. And so I was explaining to her, like, this would be a good topic for women to see on IYANLA Fix My Life. Straight up. So I really honestly think that just what I wanted to accomplish was that show being where priest and justice had a chance to, you know, meet without me, you know, because I didn't need for myself to be there. I just needed IYANLA to figure out what the fuck is going on with priests. IYANLA to figure out what the fuck is going on with me, and try to help us get to a place where we can effectively co-parent with each other. You know, Paige Johnson, you saying you don't think that I would like what she has to say about my choices. No. See, you are under the impression that her opinion about my choices would be negative. You don't know that. You don't know that. You're only saying that because you feel some type of way about the choices that I've made. And as far as me, my son's father, and my son, the only reason why I classify that as a poor choice is only because I don't think I looked at Priest and factored in that maybe the things that I was giving him the benefit of the doubt about were things that should have made me run away from him. What happened between me and my son's father is not my fault. I didn't coerce this man into coming into my life and lying to me. And doing it so well that I didn't even realize that it was fake. You know what I mean? Of course, I can take responsibilities for choices that I made that were poor before he came around. Like maybe when I decided to be like a mistress 10 years ago and shit. You know, that's something that I'd be like, oh shit, well, I wish I would have dealt with my negative feelings in a better way instead of, you know, trying to find healing in an affair with a man. You know what I mean? So that to me, that's poor choice. But what happened with me and my son's father, that wasn't something like I made a poor choice and then that's why the outcome became the way that it is. And a lot of pick-me's, especially a lot of females that are black and not supportive of other black women, will come into my comment section and my live chats and stuff on some it's my fault that my son's father behaved how he behaved because he was quote unquote married or he was quote unquote separated or whatever, you know, fuck shit that these women can come up with to justify them dragging me. You know, my son's father was not married to anyone when I met him. And when I say he wasn't married to anyone, he wasn't married to anybody mentally, physically, spiritually, nothing. And I think a lot of people think because he was still like legally married to someone that separation isn't something that they should take serious, as if legal marriage trumps over separation. When two people decide to be separated from each other, or they decide to both be estranged from each other because they're, you know, divorced, and they both start dating other people and moving on with their lives. Of course, you know, you're like, okay, you're thinking the best. I put a lot of trust into Sidonia and Priest. And I just wanted to know what would make me trust the two of them. Why did I trust the two of them so much? And this is what I wanted to speak to about IYANLA. So anyway, speak to IYANLA. So anyway, on March, this month, was the month that she was supposed to contact me and start talking about the show. But as you can see, we're having quite a bit of an issue. You know, I don't know what they're going to do with that. So I doubt if I don't know, I would have to call them and see, you know, so what's really going on with, you know, this season. You know what I mean? I would have to ask. But I can bet that it's not going to go as planned. Definitely not, because we were supposed to speak details in March. You know, Paige Johnson, I don't think you're to blame for his choices. You're to blame for yours, like discussing pregnancy without stability in life. Okay, Paige Johnson, who is evidently a troll. The ones that think they know my story so well, but should have took more time to listen to me. So, Paige Johnson. Priest and I didn't just talk about pregnancy without stability late in life. No, you're a troll. Who's in denial now? Who needs to do some self-evaluation? You. So let me be clear with you, because I don't think maybe you didn't see enough content. I don't want to be judgmental of you, but you do have you do have kind of like a troll vibe. Okay. So me and Priest had a plan. We were talking about our plan. Our conversations were about an order of operations, which was, let's find a place. Let's make sure that these legal documents are signed and you're officially divorced. Let's try to be married within the next year or so. And then after we've been married for a while and we've done our traveling and we've got our finances together and we've done whatever, then we can go and try to have children when we're ready. That was the conversations. The conversations were, it's going to be hard for us to get pregnant because, number one, I'm over 35. Number two, I've been struggling with fertility for most of my adult life, so we're going to need a fertility clinic. That's what we're going to need. These are the conversations that Priest and I were having. We weren't sitting around like, yo, let's just have a baby and we broke. No. It was, all right, let's study so you can make sure you pass and get your GED. Let's start another business together so we can have another source of income. Let's look at apartments, because I know I was like, let's look at apartments. He wasn't really necessarily bringing in, he would show me places that he wanted to stay, but I wanted him to understand that it needed to be feasible and something that we both could afford. So our conversations with each other weren't on some immature, two unstable people that's just sitting around here casually fucking each other and then a baby just came out. No. Again, only a troll would say something as stupid as, you say everyone that disagrees is a troll. No, bitch. That's not what I say. That's not what I say. We discussed being pregnant, and if you read my blogs, right, you will see inside of my blogs that there's screenshots of the conversation of us having where we're talking about being married before we have children. Get all the information. Don't nobody give a fuck if you watched an entire playlist. That's bullshit. Because it's still videos that you haven't seen that are on the playlist. And there's blogs that you haven't read that are also in addition to this story. I'm a proof and receipts type of person. Now, if you say to me, like you said, if you tell her audience you said to a separated man while living in hotels that you two even discuss pregnancy before having stable residence, they'll judge you. That's obvious. Bimbo, troll, bitch, whichever title you want me to use for you, because it ain't Paige Johnson, because I doubt very seriously that's your real motherfucking name. You coming in here being extra. Let me help you out. I never said to a separated man while we was living in hotels that we should just get pregnant while we don't have a stable residence. That's something a troll assumes. So if you watched all of the content like you claim, you wouldn't be posting it, because that's not ever what Priest and I discussed. Ever. Not once. Get your facts straight and your information together. Then come at me and have adult intellectual conversation. When you come at me with stupid stuff like this is what classifies you as a troll. This is where I start calling you a troll. Because to me, trolls are half-witted and they think they know everything. But they come with half information every single time. And then I gotta check them and they somewhere emotional like, oh. You know, she's coming for me because I disagree with her. No, I come at you because you come into my comment sections and live chat so sure, like you got me pegged right. But then you're missing information, and this is why you don't understand me and you misjudge me. That's why when you come in other people's space, make sure you have an open mind when you're discussing them or when you're addressing them. Because you could be incorrect. You could be assuming. Okay? You could be believing a lie someone told you. Now, I don't mind people asking me questions, but do not come in my space with dumb shit. Know what you're talking about. If you tell me that you watch an entire playlist about me and my son's father, then no, I just told you what info you missing. We talked about having kids over and over and over again in the future, not immediately. We talked about having kids after we found a place, after we have stability. Not let's have a baby right now in our current situation. What two grown-ass people would sit down and talk about let's have a baby and have this baby living in a hotel? Think about what you're saying. Me and Priest are not two spring. We were not two spring chickens just sitting there fresh out of high school making dumbass decisions. Him and I was sitting down talking about our future together. So I don't know what the fuck you missing. I don't know who you think I don't know where you got your information from. But it's all screwed up. It's all over the goddamn place. So I don't know. We talked about the future. No, we didn't discuss it while we were broke and homeless. See? This is the shit I'm talking about. Trolling. But you claim you watched the playlist. If you actually watched that hours and hours and hours of content, you wouldn't be asking me these dumbass questions like this. You wouldn't be wording this shit this way. Listen, when I met Priest, I was just coming out of something that was very hard that I had to deal with one of my relatives. And I finally got back on my feet. I had multiple sources of income. Okay? Now listen, you gonna be quiet and listen or I'ma just block you. Cause I done told this same story over and over again. You the only one still lost. So either you gonna be quiet and listen or you know, I can move on to the next topic and talk to somebody else. Talk about what I really want to talk about, not this dumb shit. So I was looking for another place to live because I didn't like how far away I lived from the city of Atlanta. I lived an hour out. I had money. I was fine. I was just looking for a house. Priest was homeless. Priest was, and I didn't find this out until later, was living with Sidonia. He was living with her and didn't tell me. Okay? So when he told me he was living with her, I got upset and I didn't want to deal with him. But he earned his way back into my life. He moved in with his grandmother. And we talked it out. And I ended up talking to Sidonia myself. So when we got into the hotel the first couple of times, it was just because we wanted a hotel room together. Okay, it wasn't because we was homeless, no shit like that. It was because we just wanted to get a hotel room together. Because I live far anyway. He lives closer to Atlanta. Okay? He lived closer to Atlanta. Alright? I lived far out. I used to have to do all the driving. Okay? going to see Priest an hour back was too much. So, in order to be around him, I would get hotel rooms with him because he lived with his grandmother. I couldn't just spend a night with him over his grandmother's house. All right? So, after being in a hotel for a little while, I started to feel like it was never something that I wanted to do. It was just something that kind of happened. You know, like kind of we just ended up in that position. And after I got pregnant, I didn't want to go back to where I was living before pregnant because I didn't think that was fair to the person that I was sharing a home with. I didn't want to move in with one of my friends because I didn't think it was fair to them. So my next step was to move to California. Moving to California was something that he and I had planned. What we were going to do was wait until my daughter graduated from high school and then move to California. Okay? That's what that was about. Now, I don't know what you heard. I don't know what's going on. I don't care. But it wasn't that, initially it wasn't that we were just broke and just decided to be homeless and living in hotels in a truck just for off break. That's dumb. And trolls are always so dumb like that. Y'all say dumb shit like that often. That's not, who would choose being homeless? Who would choose living in a hotel or a truck? Think about what you're saying. No one would just choose that. That wasn't what we had chose for ourselves. You know? So, it kind of just happened that way. And it's unfortunate that it happened that way. But Priest couldn't make up in his mind where he wanted to live. He couldn't make up his mind. He was driving me insane. He couldn't figure out what he wanted to do. Okay? You people, I swear to God. And then if I blocked you, you'd be like, oh, she blocked me for nothing. Come on. Come on, people. I always encourage everybody to come on my channel and be open-minded and not judge people. That's what I teach y'all all the time, like every time. My message is always the same, really. I'm different. I'm different from everybody else. And the different people out here that want to do their own thing, they want to think independently, they want to be unique, because that's just who they are. I want to make room for those people. And I want those people to be accepted more. Okay? That's my thing. I'm not encouraging people to go around here and judge people. Like this Paige Johnson person is doing. Like they don't have some shit that's fucked up going on in their life. Or in their past. We all got it. That's why it was so easy for me to be real. It was so easy for me to be real with y'all. Because I felt like I ain't had no choice. So when I ended up pregnant in a hotel, homeless, I didn't just put myself there. It was a series of events. Trusting the wrong person. And I ended up getting sick. Anybody that's listening to the sound of my voice, right? If you got a regular 9 to 5 and you working, when your ass gets sick, guess what? Get sick longer than like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna start losing your bread. You're gonna start losing your bread because you're not really making any anymore. Those sick days gonna be over. The sick days that you accumulated, eventually them days gonna be gone, and you're gonna have to take your ass back to work sick, or you gonna not be able to work, and then you're gonna start losing money. That's logic. That's what ended up happening to me. I was sick. I couldn't do the things that I would usually do. Y'all be so quick to judge people. So quick. Why? Why does everybody want people to feel so bad about themselves when they're going through something. Look at the world around you right now. We all going through something. The same thing. And some of us got it worse because some of us have relatives that passed away because of the virus. Some of us scared that our relatives are going to pass away. Some of us struggling, trying to figure out how in the world are we going to pay our rent if we can't go to work because we quarantined in the house. These are real life trials that we all go through at least one time in our life. And we all going through it right now. Everybody on the planet, all simultaneously. And motherfuckers is still in my comment section judging me. Does that make any sense? I'm a human being. I'm a human being. And I wish that people start treating me that way and stop coming into my live chats trying to dehumanize me. Judging me. Iyanla Van Zant's team asked me, they said, do you think you can deal with the backlash of people judging you once you come on the show? I had to inform them that the backlash that I received on YouTube is the worst kind of backlash a woman could ever receive, especially when she got her baby daddy getting on the social media platforms depicting her as something that she ain't. I'm black, I'm female, and I've been lied about the man I love. As a female, as a woman, you know how hurt that can make a woman feel. That can break a woman's womanhood. If you're a woman, you know that. I had my baby daddy having the nerve to bring his ex-wife, a bitch he not even married to anymore, on a platform with him. And this bitch playing both sides of the fence, talking to y'all on his side, and then secretly whispering to me over the phone like she on mine. I got hundreds of thousands of people over here calling me a side chick to a dude I never was a side chick to. I got people out here thinking I just irresponsibly just moved in with some guy when I was homeless and broke. Cause this nigga, imagine what that did to me. But I know how good of a person I am. I know how responsible I am. I'm a businesswoman. The biggest mistake or choice I made is allowing the men in my life opportunity to lead. That's all I want a priest to do. Giving him the opportunity to lead. Because men always be like, oh, black women don't know how to be submissive. Blah, 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 blah. You was judging me, Paige. And the fact that you can't say that is why it disturbs me so much that I got people like you watching. Because if I sit up here, I'm an example of a person that sits up here and does self-reflection and talks about her own choices and things that happen to me. Meanwhile, you got motherfuckers like Paige Johnson hiding behind an avatar, not telling anybody who they truly are, faking the funk like a motherfucker. But I'm the problem? How? I'm showing you what kind of person you should be. You can't fake the funk for yourself every day. Because you got to follow you around everywhere you go. So when you look in the mirror, you can't keep faking the funk, looking in the mirror, telling yourself that you ain't judgmental because you are. Look at the shit you just posted in my comment section. Think about that. Think about the hurt and pain I already experienced and how I have to relive it because somebody like you has come into my comment section with this. Think about that. You guys don't think about the stuff that you say and do to other people. You don't care because you're too busy hiding behind a profile. faking the funk. You gotta focus on faking the funk. You in no position to even care about somebody else's feelings, thoughts. You on my channel, but in no way did you have any compassion for me when you came into my comment section talking this shit. Even though throughout that entire playlist that you claim you watched, you saw me crying. You saw me hurt. You heard me talk about how hurt I was that my son was going to grow up without his father, yet you come into my space showing this ugliness, this passive-aggressive bullshit, thinking I'm not going to pick up on it. I see it. Too many of y'all have done it to me. And the only thing I can do is control my own behavior and how I respond to you. Because I can't control y'all coming in here being stupid, because that's the choice you made for you. What you post is a reflection of you, regardless to whether you had a profile or not, because eventually you're going to have to look at yourself for all of the stuff that you posting and saying and doing online. Eventually you're going to feel some type of way. Eventually you're going to get to a point where you outgrown the fuck shit. And you're going to look back and be like, damn, I was doing such and such, I was doing the most. Doing the fucking most. To somebody else. For what? People try to paint me as the big bad wolf all the time. When all I've ever done is defend myself against other people. That's all I've done. I've never picked on nobody. I've never bullied nobody. I never just randomly just chose some person to do something ugly to. I've been a kind person my whole life because that's just who I am. I'm nice. But one of the lessons that I learned that people on social media taught me is that I can't be nice and kind to everybody. At some point, I gotta put my foot down and be like, fuck you. And then when I'm putting my foot down saying fuck you, I gotta not give a fuck about how that person feels. Because I can't keep giving a fuck about other people and what they doing and feeling. I can't keep making what y'all feel my responsibility when y'all don't care about how I feel. This is why I decided to do membership only on my channel, because this is going to eliminate motherfuckers like Paige Johnson. Oh, Paige Johnson going to be out of here, because only my true supporters would be the ones that take the time to actually follow me on Instagram or actually pay the membership fee to be able to be in the live streams. See, trolls get to rummage all free all up and through my live chats now because they open. But when April 1st come and that paid membership come on, we going to see who truly part of my family. And this is why I did it. It's too many people that subscribe to my channel that I value so much. And those are the people that I'm going to give free merchandise to and services and exclusive live streams and videos. Because I want them to understand that they are loved by me and they're appreciated. And I need y'all to appreciate one another. You're valuable to me. You're relevant to me. I respect your time and your positive energy. But I want you to take your engagement to another level and connect. Connect with me. Because here, this is family. And all I ask is for trust and loyalty. And usually when I'm dealing with these trolls and shit, they not loyal. They don't donate. They talk shit about me. They judge me. It's a trip. It's too much. So when that paid membership come on, we're going to see who's really real. Who's really real. You ain't pointing out no damn facts. You ain't pointing out no damn facts. You a troll. Like you in here asking. A troll will only ask me about Chris Law's wife and daughter. I don't know Chris Law's wife and daughter. Never did anything to Chris Law's wife or daughter. Why are you even bringing up Chris Law's wife and daughter? For what? They weren't treated bad. They never did anything to me, and I never did anything to them. So why are you bringing them up? Because you a troll. That's what trolls do. I showed Chris Law's daughter and baby mama with much respect. I don't have nothing against them. I don't know them. My problem has been Chris. You a troll, and you been a troll, and you gonna stay a motherfucking troll, because that's all you know how to be. Come on now. Now Paige Johnson has been excused from the building. I got to go, peeps. It's been real. It has been real. Here comes Dom.
This is Ebony Man 2K. But once again, SONCERAE shows that she is still walking around this earth clueless. And like my dad would say, she don't know what's going on in this world like the man on the moon. In her last live, she tells the whole story about her IYANLA Fix My Life audition. She seemed quite confused that she really didn't spend a lot of time with IYANLA, but met with a lot of producers of the production company instead. She was somehow bewildered that they were asking her questions about priests more than her, as if they were fishing for stories to tell to make an actual show. So was Ray thinking that she was going to meet with IYANLA and solve her fake problems on a fake reality TV show? Those shows are more fake than she is. I bet she was like, damn, you bitches got me beat. Then she spent the rest of her life arguing with a chat member about being accountable for her actions. Of course, she got all defensive and claims that she's going to fix this trolling problem by charging to hear her speak live, not realizing that she is only pulling 7 people in her lives right now for free. The stupidity of her actions are so sad, yet entertaining, and it's part of the reason why everybody loves SONCERAE.
Now, before we begin, I would like for you to put your screen on full view. Please put your screen on full view. Now, I would like to dedicate this story time to the GOAT, the late Notorious B.I.G., aka Biggie. And I'm going to start it off with some inspired words by Biggie. It goes a little something like this. I want you to grab the keys to your car, call your peeps on the cell, and bring some weed. I got a story to tell. This is Everyday Man 2K, aka That Jolly Rancher, aka Pretty Ricky, what they call him, and aka the king of receipts. My people, in all full disclosure, this YouTube channel is not my first rodeo in regards to being a content creator on social media. I actually had a community board back in the day in the early 2000s that featured multiple categories by topic. I had my own topics, and I allowed certain moderators to host their own forum within my community board. I had a news forum, a business forum, and my most popular forum was called The List. The List was a compilation of all the upcoming hot events coming to Atlanta over the next weeks. While living in Atlanta almost every Thursday, I would get a call from a friend or a family member asking me what's going on in the A this weekend. I'm coming through. Now, a lot of times I didn't know, and I had to make calls and do a little research. After a while, I got good at it and decided to document my findings and add it as a form to my community board and email blast. After a while, y'all, I had that candy, yo. I had that candy. I pretty much had a one pager summarizing all the upcoming events in Atlanta by date and a listing of all the hot clubs and their featured themes or activity by the day of the week. Oh, I was thorough. I was thorough. If you were not on my list, you were not doing nothing in the AO. You weren't doing nothing. If you wanted to get popping in these ATL streets, you had to get by Ebony Man 2K and get approved. And that's real talk. Now, another popular forum on my community board was the poetry forum. I had a moderator who wanted to create it, and she did just that. She had the poem slash spoken word session popping on my website. That shit grew in so many ways. She added an erotica session that attracted a lot of creative weirdos. She also added a storytelling section similar to R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet series, where one person would start a story with, maybe three or four paragraphs, and then someone else would pick up the story where the other left off and add their three paragraphs. Man, do you know they kept that shit going for like over a month with like 30 people? The shit was so entertaining because you can tell that they were competing with each other on how far left they could take the story. Y'all, this was my own website, and they had me in suspense on what was going to happen next. So, like I said, my community board had two popping forums, one called The List with upcoming events in Atlanta, and another one in the Poetry Spoken Forum. So now I'm digging this as a cool online recreational piece. But y'all know me. I was curious as to how this could play out as a legitimate business opportunity offline in the form of an open mic series. Now, I had the connections offline through my list of events information that I was putting together weekly. Plus, I had an online base of customers who were lovers of poetry and spoken word from my website. Then, at the time, I was seeing Russell Simmons producing his Def Jam poetry shows on HBO. He would get on stage, say just a few couple words, then walk off the stage with all the money. I was like, shit, I could do that. So, you know what? I did just that. In the summer of 2004, I created an open mic series in Atlanta called The Cypher. Now, before I started my show, I had to do my homework. I frequented other poetry open mics in Atlanta to network with the major players and to get a feel for the nature of the art and the business. One spot I visited often was called the Yin Yang in Midtown. It was a little hole in the wall spot with great wings and a good vibe of talented artists like John Good, Georgia Me, Abyss, and Tommy Bottoms. Also, you didn't know what big time artists may just pop in to bless the audience with an open mic surprise. I have watched Peebo Bryson, India Ari, Donnie, and Flority perform at this cafe after paying just a $5 entry fee, y'all. Now, while networking, I decided to recruit two artists to serve as hosts for my show. One artist was a guy with a stage name Last Forever, and the other one was a woman by the stage name Queen Nikki. Both had great personalities. I decided to work with both of them because I knew that they were going to friendly compete with each other to bring out their best in making a great open mic show. Once I got the right people lined up and I found a decent spot to host, I kicked off my spoken word open mic in Atlanta. Now, in the beginning, there was some good and some bad. On one hand, I had a good turnout, but on the other hand, I had high overhead expenses. I eventually had to back out the DJ and replace him with a mixtape that I put on loop. To reduce upfront expenses, one of my hosts agreed to forego his pay up front for a higher negotiated pay later. And the other host agreed to reduce their pay in half and spill a shrimp platter with me after every show, y'all. No lie. This spot shrimp platter was just that good, y'all. It was just that good. But more importantly, you can see that both of my hosts were good people. And we had each other's back and each other's best interests at heart. One of my favorite artists that participated in my open mics was a guy by the name of Tommy Bottoms. I related to him because, like me, he was an educated brother who had street game, but more importantly, he always questioned the system and spoke truth to power in his material. I came across his YouTube channel that seems dormant, but I wanted to share with you a couple of audio clips that are profound, even though he spoke them over a decade ago. One performance talks about the manipulation of the judicial system in regards to crime. Two other pieces speak about the manipulation performed by major media. And the last one talks about slavery and the parallels of the prison industrial complex. Now, make sure you listen to this message closely, even if you have to play it multiple times. This brother is very deep and quick-witted, so you have to really pay attention to what he's saying. Tommy Bottoms, if you're out there listening, consider this to be a show of appreciation of your work, bro. Peace. After his performance, I have added two of my spoken word performances from my Love Jones music session. If you have not listened to my Love Jones music session, please do so. You don't want to miss it. It has various music artists on there with amazing songs. After I perform, I will then close with a short music video that captures the essence of my story time with Everyman 2K and serves to promote this series going forward. I will also be in the chat room if you have any questions or just want to chop it up with me. All right, y'all. Let's get it.
9 to 5 grind just be weighing heavy on my mind. Cause see, them 2 15-minute breaks and a half-hour lunches don't be enough. So when I go home, I'll be ready to relax my dome and unwind and let my mind release by burning some green trees wrapped in a brown leaf. So on my way home to the crib, I hit the weed spot, give me a $20 bag of that gunfire, and hit the liquor store, get a box of Phillies and 2 tall cans of Budweiser. Now one day I'm sitting at the crib smoking a spliff, sipping my brews, and I happen to be flipping past the Embassy Nightly News, and I see this police chief giving some speech about he setting up some crime task force committee to help crack down on crime in the city, and at the end of his little soliloquy, he had the nerve to say that he wanted to send a message out to the people that crime don't pay. Now that's a bunch of bullshit. Because not only is it cliche to say that crime don't pay, but that's like a 400-pound fat man trying to jump a fence. It just doesn't make sense. See, crime is big business. Just look how many people who are employed by the judicial system. From the COs to the POs to the prosecuting attorneys to the bailiffs who guard the juries, the courtroom stenographer, the crime scene photographer, the 911 dispatcher, the fire clerks, the phone tappers, and can't forget about the forensic science to do the lab test, the people who manufacture the bulletproof vest, the ATF, the FBI, and the DEA. And if crime would have stopped tomorrow, all these people would be out of work the very next day. See, crime is just as important to the economy as any other commodity. See, when the crime rate does go down, how often does the police department lay off some of his officers? See, since crime is big business, they just get the politicians to create more laws, to create more criminals. So they come up with some little slick shit like a seatbelt law with a cute catchphrase like click or a ticket and claim they want to save lives. But the truth is, they just want to get off in the nigga business, see what he's doing off in this ride. You know, hopefully they catch him riding dirty with some weed, stashed in seats, around with a suspended license, doing a little drinking and driving. But if you really want to cut down on drinking and driving, then why isn't it required that you have to take a breathalyzer before you leave the bar or the club? Because see, they're ready for you to get off in the streets and have to deal with the police, and that's how they maintain their job security. And these correctional facilities turning niggas into modern-day slaves, they paying them way below the minimum wage. So they pay a prisoner 15 cents an hour to press out your license plates. But when you go to the DMV, it costs you $200 or $300 for them exact same license plates. So don't tell me that crime don't pay, because every other day they shut down for school because of city budget cuts. But when was the last time you heard of a prison going bankrupt? Then they got these fucked up cocaine laws where they give you 2 years for powder and 10 years for rock. But the truth is, they don't ever want to see the dope game stop. Because see, a drug is a drug, whether it's crack or Prozac. They got these little children addicted to Ritalin, but you never see no pharmaceutical company being portrayed as no villain. I mean, what if they made all the legal drugs illegal? You had niggas making rap videos about how they stand on the corner slinging nicotine patches and serving up 8 balls of Demerol and slinging keys of Viagra all the way to Florida to Alaska. But see, that's never gonna happen. Because see, rich white folks have never allowed themselves to be given the same status as some ghetto crack addict. See, prisons are built for the poor and uneducated. That's why they represent more than 90% of the population that's incarcerated. See, half of them don't care they slaves, the other half don't know. So prison just becomes the revolving door for the unskilled and the poor, which just creates more job security for the CEOs, the wards, and the criminal defense lawyers. And even the district attorney got his hand inside the cake, prosecuting cases of people he know are innocent just to get them caught up in the system. Because see, prison is big business. There's more people in prison in America than anywhere else in the world, yet this is supposed to be the land of the free. See, can't nobody tell me that crime don't pay. I mean, what if you're a criminal defense lawyer, you make 6 figures a year, do you really want to see crime go away? Hell no. You'd rather see people living in poverty because poverty breeds crime. The more crime means the bigger the house, the bigger the boat, and the better the Rolex watch. And while the kids get to go off to college, poor kids go off to the school of hard knocks. Now, I'm all about peace, but fuck the police, especially chief police in this bullshit speech about how crime don't pay. Because pretty soon there won't be nobody left to lock up, then what? You just left with a fucked up nation, the police all patrolling one big plantation, everybody just sitting around waiting for another Emancipation Proclamation like it's 1863. See, everything I see leads me to believe that there's a very thin line between breaking the law and being the law, because see, laws are made to be broken. So you can't tell me some of these judicial officials, they secretly hoping that niggas don't open up their eyes and realize that the only way to beat the system is to stay out of the system. So I'm no longer giving them shit. I'm gonna make sure I stay legit, because I don't belong in no prison. So the next time a cop pulls me over, I better tell him to suck on these 9 inches and get fucked with no foreplay, because I understand the game and I know that crime pays, and I know this the land of the thief and the home and the slave, and I know America got 1,000,001 ways to get paid. So the last thing I'm trying to hear is a motherfucker tell me that crime don't pay. Man, they write history books about crooks, from Jesse James to John Dillinger. Man, they was notorious gunslingers. And when John Gotti died, they marched through the city like he was some type of slain world leader. And these drug dealers go out and buy Mercedes and Lexus, but nobody ever asked Mercedes and Lexus to forfeit 20% of their profit, because 20% of their product was bought with drug money. They don't give a shit where the money comes from. Just keep it coming. That's how the economy works. Buying and selling. So it doesn't matter if it comes from a college graduate or a 2-time felon. So Mr. Chief of Police, I have to disagree with your bullshit speech that crime don't pay. Because if no people no longer sell dope, steal and rob, your ass will be out of a fucking job. And I bet you change what you got to say, because you already know that crime definitely pays. Peace on that, y'all. You sure? I know this is for TV. I shouldn't be up here drinking, man. But they'll edit it out later, maybe. You put a blur in front of it or something. You know what I mean? I just stand here like this. No, it ain't. I'm going to just do 2 very long poems, so just hang in there with me. I'm going to tell you off the rip. They long as hell. And I'm going to take my time, you know what I mean? Because, shit, when you go to work, you don't start as soon as you get there, you know what I'm saying? So, chill a little bit too. Alright. When I say ladies and you say gentlemen, ladies and, when I say ladies and you say gentlemen, ladies and, now I ain't never needed a pen and the paper to paint a perfect picture, but I can still give you a vivid description of what I'm spitting just over some raw talent and good diction. So look, ladies and gentlemen, play close attention and listen as I give you a quick description how the media big pimping, rely on the people's ignorance, decrease their profits, their revenues, and stock on the dividends, because they all about them Benjamins, baby. So look, ladies and gentlemen, most of these rappers cannot get major record label backing unless they can market themselves as being murderers or drug traffickers. But I'm going to go ahead and drop the news on most of these dudes, because see, most of these rappers are just actors. See, selling dime bags of weed on your mama's front porch does not really qualify you as being a drug lord. But see, these children, they mostly looking and not listening. So they're not really paying attention to the fact that most of these rappers are just pretending. See, all they see is the diamonds glistening, the rims spinning, so little inner city children go up. Then the only way to get rich is through rapping or drug dealing. So look, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you call class warfare. And the name of the game is to profit off of other people's pain. That's why you can slang in your white tee, bang in your white tee, kill 12 people, just do it over tight beats. See, the object is to keep the mass of the people dumb, so they hypnotize the young with the sound of the drum. See, these record labels, they're no longer looking for MCs. They just looking for a rapper with a tight beat and a rap sheet and an entourage that can pack heat. That's because the hottest rapper in the street is the rapper with the most beef. So keep them hooks simple, don't say nothing too deep. And that's when the record label radio station step in and pretend that they gotta defend the rapper's right to freedom of speech. So they allow you to say whatever hell you want, as long as you don't say nothing bad about Jewish people and fags. Because, see, those are the main decision makers, those radio stations and major record labels. I mean, what you think would happen if Snoop Dogg started rapping about shooting some Jewish guy in the eye in a drive-by, then kidnapping the rabbi and getting him high to try to convince him that the Holocaust is a lie? Snoop Dogg could definitely kiss his career bye-bye. And that's on the for shizzle, my nizzle. But them exact same people in power quick to bite their tongue when it comes to glorifying the horrifying lifestyles of the inner city slums. They have no problem telling your kids to get rich or die trying. They ain't nothing unless they rockin' platinum and diamonds. Convincing the children that it's cool to be a villain, because real niggas do real things and they scared to go to prison. And look, ladies and gentlemen, this is the very ignorance of the radio station is spinning and making and killing all of your children. But all actuality, that is just a microcosm of a much larger problem. See, all the major media that you see, from radio to TV, is actually all controlled by like 4 or 5 companies. Which means if you have not learned to think for yourself, your very view of the world that you're living in is actually controlled by somebody else's opinion. See, the corporate elite, they have a vested interest in keeping the average American citizen at a certain level of ignorance. See, the less educated you are, the less they have to pay you to perform low-level jobs. So they already know everybody's not going to grow to be a doctor, a lawyer, or a CEO. Because if everybody making CEO dough, then who gonna clean the toilets, flip the burgers, and scrub the floors? See, capitalism is a machine, which means somebody gotta be the oil. So the purpose of the media is to kind of keep the people passive and constantly feed the people's addiction for television. That way, they never had to worry about no questioning the system. And to maintain that status quo, they make sure the people get healthy doses of videos, talk shows, and reality TV. And if you're old as me, you remember when TV talk shows used to actually tackle tough topics. But now they just been dumbed down to getting a paternity test to see who's the baby's father. And the object is to keep your mind idle. That's why it's no coincidence that the most popular show on TV is American Idol. Because of idle mind, the devil's workshop, when it comes to build bigger and better TVs, increase the amount of TV that you watch. And since you want to cop everything you see on TV, you work a job you don't like to buy shit you don't need. Cause you constantly trying to keep up with them Joneses, them Sean Puffy Combses. You got folk who make 80 grand a year, but they 2 checks from being homeless. So look, ladies and gentlemen, the only reason television exists is to sell you shit. Why you think a 30-minute TV show has 15 minutes worth of commercials? That's because the commercials are the main attraction. The actual TV show itself is just there as a distraction to keep you watching just long enough to pinpoint your demographic and your particular spending habit. Do not think it was no accident that they got you to convert from the cash to the plastic. Now they can always electronically track your every purchase. Not that your life means anything. It's just good for market research. And I know the truth hurts, but whether you like it or not, we have all become proud citizens of the United States of big business, because this is America, y'all. Land of the pimps, home of the hustlers, where nobody's really a citizen, just a potential customer. And the national motto is F you, pay me, because they all about them Benjamins, baby. Alright, this is for all the people to be like, man, every time I see you, Tom, you got a drink in your hand. Well, there you go. Buy me one next time, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Alright, there's some drinkers in here. I'm the only one. Bartender, is the other drinkers in here? Oh, okay. Like 1 or 2? Okay. This is for the 1 or 2 other people. You gonna drink with me? Alright, that's what's up. You probably gonna want to do more than drink, man. You know what I'm saying? I do that too, though. I do that too. I ain't even got to say what it is. Could be anything. Now they tried to make me go to rehab. I said, I knew it was a couple more drinkers up in here. You know what I'm talking about? I knew. Stop playing, all right. Now when it comes to the ability to combine thought-provoking concepts in a rhyme, Tommy Bottoms is way ahead of his time. So in celebration of my greatness, from time to time, I typically have a taste of tequila as a toast to my talent for telling the truth. But in the process of putting together all these dope double entendres, dropping some heavy shit for your medulla oblongata, Tommy Bottoms is getting some static. You know what I mean? Tommy Bottoms has developed a slight drinking problem. But I'm not just a heavy drinker. See, I'm a heavy thinker. So I marinate my mind in some barley and hops and I jump off into some deep thought. See, I'm an inebriated genius with a Jose Cuervo flow. Call me the Black Al Capone, because I'm a modern day wordplay bootlegger and I ain't looking to dry out. See, I smuggled all my rhymes across that Mason-Dixon line. Now they call me the new mouth of the South. See, I am a socially conscious alcoholic. I keep up on current issues and worldviews over a couple of cold brews. And then I put together my pure thoughts in the form of a poem and present the people with my particular point of view. So if doing damage to my liver helps the people become better thinkers, then baby, bring on the cirrhosis. Because my soul is so ferocious, man, fuck some rehab, and I ain't looking for no AA. Because if I can get 20 million citizens to wake up and pay attention and listen to this bullshit double talk that these politicians be spitting, then death is a small price to pay. Because I am a drunken political pundit. No need to call a politician a pimp, because that just sounds redundant. But what I will say is, regardless if you're a Republican or a Democrat, politics is just a game, and all politics is lie, and they act like they on different teams, but believe me, they on the same side. And the reason why is because a politician's primary objective is to get reelected. So they'll say whatever they gotta say in order to survive. Do whatever it takes to keep their career in politics alive. But there's no need to worry. You see, these big corporations, the special interests, are doing everything possible to make sure y'all get the best government money can buy. How else you think these politicians can afford to dress so fly? They out here balling on the campaign trail, popping bottles of champagne, eating lobster tail, living rock star lifestyles, having domestic policy orgies in the Oval Office, fucking you right in the face because you refuse to see the obvious. And the reason you don't notice the distortion, because they got you sidetracked and distracted with polarizing issues like gay marriage and abortion. So while y'all run around here protesting, debating whether it's a woman's right to choose or whether Gary can marry Larry or Sherry can marry Linda, the job you had for the last 10 years just got shipped off to India. But I know you don't want to put your trust in no drunk. It's all right. Ain't no need to listen to me. Just keep on listening to them gangsters in the mafia. Excuse me. Those gangsters in the media. See, they be pumping you so full of fear, got you believing everything that they feeding you. Like them dudes in Fox News. They just gangsters in blue suits. Got you so scared to death that you're ready to call the coroner. They got you believing there's a terrorist and a child predator standing on every single corner who can't wait to have sex with your young little daughter. But it's just like those Bill O'Reilly types. They always ready to declare war on something where they ain't never been in a fight. Just up there bumping his lips together like two Frisco dykes. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. Now, excuse me for my rudeness and my crudeness. See, I'm just up here rhyming under the influence, but I'm never too intoxicated to get behind the wheel of your mind. I would drive a point all the way home, have y'all thinking outside the lines. So before you start yelling, fuck Bush, make sure you put on a rubber. Because the government and the media are in an open relationship with each other. And before I go any further, I need everybody to flag down the closest waitress, because I'm about to give everybody a shot of truth, straight up with no chaser. Now listen. The American media is the fourth branch of the government, and the important role that they play is the kind to keep the people in check and completely off balance. That way the other three branches can do whatever they want to do, remain relatively unchallenged. That's because the American public is only concerned about the next celebrity scandal or the next high-profile murder case or the latest LAPD high-speed car chase. And while you sidetracked and distracted with all that, your government just passed the Patriot Act. Now your phones is getting tapped, but they pumped you so full of fear, you don't see nothing wrong with that. That's because the media and the politicians have sold y'all on the slogan that Americans love their freedom. And that is the ultimate lie. Because Americans don't love freedom. Americans love to be pacified. Because all you need is an Xbox, an iPod, a laptop, and a credit card. American Idol on Wednesday, Starbucks to Cold Ridge, yeah. And you know we need our DVDs, cable TV on the big screen, ABC, NBC, BET, and MTV. Who really needs civil liberties when you got ringtones on your phone and PlayStation 3? See, you know, drink from the Kool-Aid, so now you become addicted to all these technology trinkets. You ain't nothing but a go-go gadget savage. You used to like having sex on the beach. Now you just surf the web for head. Look at the law going with a lovely lady who's looking to have a couple of BlackBerry babies. But it's your lust for all these electronic lovers is the reason why you no longer have to worry about the watchful eye of Big Brother. So they put cameras on all our cell phones. So now we just out here watching each other. Nigga, that's gangster. But it is time for the watch to become the watchers. You got to start paying attention how these politicians and media moguls be moving like mobsters. Stop thinking that the Bloods and the Crips got some beef. Real gangster shit go down between Madison Avenue and K Street. And I know some of y'all probably think, man, this nigga drink way too much. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. But that's cool. Because see, the difference between me and most of you is I can always say I'm too drunk to notice the government abuse. But most of y'all sitting in here bone dry sober. Your government still getting over. So tell me what exactly is your excuse. But it's the Black Al Capone, the new mouth of the South. I'm about ready to sign out because I'm about to ride out the Waffle House. Go get me something to eat. But before I leave, I need a little more time to think. So bartender, go and hook me up with another goddamn drink. Yeah. Now my primary purpose in poetry is to tick some people off. So I'm hoping somebody get offended with these words that I'm spitting. That way I know I'm doing my job. Because when it comes to this mic game, I ain't got time to play. So you gonna hear no raunchy talk about how I make the coochie pop, my AK spray. Got way too many other things I need to say. Because I'm the new millennium field nigga with the article to Kente. I'm the runaway slave that got away. Told master to get up off my tip and where he can stick his resume and his 401k. I know 401 other ways to get paid. So never allow nobody ever to lead you to believe that they ever bought a slavery. Because basically, the business of slavery is way too profitable for it to ever be stoppable. See, America simply reinvented the definition of slavery by really taking race out of the equation in order to increase the size of their plantation. So now, regardless of your ethnic or racial persuasion or your religious affiliation, every one of you now have the opportunity to work on master's plantation. Because anybody that works a job that pays them anything that close to minimum wage can go ahead and consider themselves a slave. See, the biggest misconception with slavery is that the slaves ain't get paid, that the slaves ain't get a paycheck. They definitely got paid, so they got the leftover food. Their master didn't want to consume, a few clothes and a place to stay. And that's exactly what you get with minimum wage. You get just enough sustenance to give you the guts to get up and do it again the next day. 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, and every other Sunday. And master no longer got to beat the slaves to make them behave. Now they just dock your pay or mess with your sick days or put you on that 12 to 6 graveyard shift. Got you busting your back from dusk to dawn, but you still don't have a phone that can barely keep your lights on. So in order for those little extra carbs in life, sometimes the slave the fourth to resort to commit petty crimes. You see, those slaves lived back in the day. Not only were they brave, but they had to live bold, because whenever that weather got blistering cold, those same slaves had to break into master's home and steal warm blankets and extra clothes. And that's the very reason why, this very day and time, they still associate black people with crime, which brings me to the 13th Amendment, which clearly mentions that slavery was the boss for all persons except for those convicted of a crime. So plantations become penitentiaries or correctional facilities where the state pays the inmate 8 cents an hour, provides them with food, clothes, and a shower, a place to stay. And that's when the warden forces that prison to produce products that the state turns right back around and sells in the open market. That's slavery 101, baby, regardless of what you want to call it. I mean, what if all these Walmart stores existed back in the year 1712? Who in the hell you think would have been working the cash registers and stocking the shelves? See, it doesn't matter if you're just a prisoner pressing out license plates in the prison system, or just some burger flipping, tomato picking Mexican immigrant, or just some auto factory worker working up in Flint, Michigan. Slavery is the heartbeat of capitalism, and capitalism is the beast that don't sleep. That's why there's cocaine on every corner and 24-hour TV.
This is Everyday Man 2K. This poem is titled Brother to the Night from the movie Love Jones. And it goes a little something like this. Say, baby, can I be your slave? I've got to admit, girl, you're the shit, girl. And I'm digging you like a grave. Now, do they call you daughter to the spinning pulsar? Or maybe queen of 10,000 moons? Sister to the distant yet rising star? Is your name Yemiya? Oh, hell no. It's got to be Oshun. Ooh, is that a smile me put on your face, child? Wide as a field of jasmine and clover? Talk that talk, honey. Walk that walk, money. High on legs that'll spite Jehovah. But they call me brother to the night. And right now, I'm the blues in your left eye, trying to become the funk in your right. Who am I? I'll be whoever you say. But right now, I'm the sight rape hunter, blindly pursuing you as my prey. And I just want to give you injections of sublime erections and get you to dance to my rhythm. Make you dream archetypes of black angels in flight upon wings of distorted, contorted, metaphoric jism. Come on, Slim. Forget your man. I ain't worried about him. It's you who I want to step to my scene. Because rather deal with the fallacy of this dry-ass reality, I'd rather dance and romance your sweet ass in a wet dream. Who am I? Well, they call me brother to the night. And right now, I'm the blues in your left eye, trying to become the funk in your right. Is that all right? This is Ebony Man 2K, and I thank you. This is Ebony Man 2K. I will be reciting the poem called I Am Looking at Music, and written by Nina Mosley. This poem was featured in the movie Love Jones. And it goes something like this. It is the color of light, the shape of sound high in the evergreens. It lies suspended in hills, a blue line in a red sky. I am looking at sound. I am hearing the brightness of hibiscus and almond trees. I am tasting the wilderness of lakes, rivers, and streams, caught in an angle of song. I am remembering water that glows in the dawn, the motion tumbled in earth, life hidden in mounds. I am dancing a bright beam of light. I am remembering love. This short music video serves as an introduction to my upcoming series, Story Times with Ebony Man 2K. It gives you a glimpse of the type of people, places, and things I have experienced early on in my young adult life. My subscribers have asked me to share my experiences dating in Atlanta, my time spent in Rio de Janeiro during Carnival, freaknik stories, and other general social stories in my life. Some of the photos in this video captured those experiences. The time frame of these photos are from the mid-90s to the early 2000s. Again, this video serves as a prelude to my story times and adds proper context of people, space, and time. This is Everyday Man 2K. Let's get it. This is Everyday Man 2K. I need for you to put your screen on full view. The title of this song for this music video is called When We Were Young by Adele, and the cover is being performed by Mackenzie Johnson. Please check out our channel and join. Thank you.
Everybody loves the things you do, from the way you talk to the way you move. Everybody here is watching you, 'cause you feel like home, you're like a dream come true. But if by chance you're here alone, can I have a moment before I go? 'Cause I've been by myself all night long, hoping you're someone I used to know. You look like a movie, you sound like a song. My God, this reminds me of when we were young. Let me photograph you in this light, in case it is the last time that we might be exactly like we were before we realized we were sad of getting old. It made us restless. It was just like a movie, it was just like a song. I was so scared to face my fears, 'cause nobody told me that you'd be here. And I swore you'd overseas, 'cause that's what you said when you left me. You still look like a movie, you still sound like a song. My God, this reminds me of when we were young. Let me photograph you in this light, in case it is the last time that we might be exactly like we were before we realized we were sad of getting old. It made us restless. It was just like a movie, it was just like a song. When we were young, when we were young, when we were young, when we were young. It's hard to win me back, everything just takes me back to when you were there, to when you were there. And a part of me keeps holding on, just in case it hasn't gone. I guess I still care. Do you still care? It was just like a movie, it was just like a song. My God, this reminds me of when we were young. was just like a movie. It was just like a song when we were young.
This is Everyday Man 2K, aka that Jolly Rancher, aka Pretty Ricky, what they call me, and aka that dude who be having the receipts. Before we begin, the membership program for my channel has been approved by YouTube and has been added with PayPal and Cash App as another option to express your support for me and this channel. I ask that you go ahead and join today and make yourself an official Day 1 member of Everyday Man 2K. There is a join button on the homepage and links in the description box and at the top of my comment section. You will get an official members only badge, and I will be adding exclusives from time to time for you to access as a members only participant. Now, the price that I set is reasonable, and it's less than a 2-piece dinner from Popeyes, especially if you get the strawberry drink. So, go ahead and join, get your badge, and make them haters start crying like a baby. You know how they do. Wah, 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 wah. Why you like Everyday Man? Wah, wah, wah. We don't want you to like Everyday Man. Wah, wah, wah. And you take that badge and say, look, I rock with Everyday Man 2K the long way. Because not only is he funny to me, but that brother is thorough and he be on point with his presentations, especially with his receipts. So you either get with the program or you get to stepping and go kick a can down the street, because that would be a better use of your time than you trying to convince me to go against Everyday Man 2K. I got Everyday Man 2K's back 100%. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the main purpose of membership. It is to bear witness to the public that we are going to enjoy ourselves on this channel, and we got each other's back 100%. Okay, let's get it, y'all. This is Everyday Man 2K. We're about to go into our chat and music session. But first, if you would like to donate via Cash App, the Cash App ID is $EBMN2K. That's $EBMN2K. If you'd like to make a donation via PayPal, send it to paypal.me/EBMNTWOK. That's paypal.me/EBMNTWOK. And if you'd like to send it via Venmo, send it to @EBMN2K. That's @EBMN2K. Thanks.